Hello, church. I'm assuming that if you've been out very much in our community, you've experienced something that you're seeing on the screen. Lines to go buy groceries, lines to check out, lines to buy Whataburger or Chick-fil-A or any other drive-through places. Lots of waiting going on right now. I don't like to wait. In my efficiency matters most of all mentality, waiting is a waste of time. Why can't I just go get what I need and get in and get out? It's not the world we live in. Waiting has become a norm. We wait daily on reports from the CDC, wait on our elected officials to tell us what's next as far as things and procedures we can do to flatten the curve of COVID-19. We wait. I think for most of us, waiting brings a sense of anxiety, brings some stress, makes us think about things that are uncertain. But there is another kind of waiting that's featured in the Bible. The Bible tells us to wait a lot. There's a lot of things that we're commanded to do in the idea of waiting. And biblical waiting is not just a passive wasting of time. It is more active. It is a seeking. It is a time of reflection, a time of meditation, and a time of thought about what God's doing in the world. And so while we wait, let's wait on God. The prophet Isaiah speaks about waiting, a passage that we know very well in Isaiah chapter 40. In the second part of Isaiah chapters 40 through 55, sometimes called the book of consolation or the book of comfort, God's people are waiting. They're in exile. 70 years of punishment was given to them because of their unfaithfulness to God. They were told to wait. God was still at work. God was still present in Babylon. Israel had some soul searching to do, some time to reflect, and some time to open their eyes and to see what God was doing around them and in them and through them, even in a state of life that they didn't want, a state of life that was difficult, a state of life that's had a great deal of uncertainty, certainly a state of life that was uncomfortable and very unfamiliar. But God said to wait. Let's consider the words of the prophet Isaiah from Isaiah chapter 40, beginning in verse 27. Why do you say, O Jacob, and speak, O Israel? My way is hidden from the Lord, and my right is disregarded by my God. Have you not known? And have you not heard? The Lord is the everlasting God, the creator of the ends of the earth. He does not faint or grow weary. His understanding is unsearchable. He gives power to the faint and strengthens the powerless. Even youth will be faint and be weary, and the young will fall exhausted. But for those who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not be faint. Wait. Waiting is something that I don't like. But waiting is something that God calls me to. Not, again, in a time to be anxious, in a time to become irritated, in a time to think that I am more valuable than the person in the line in front of me, but a time to hope. That word wait carries with it an idea of anticipation, an idea of hope, an idea that we are to open our eyes and see what God is doing around us. And so as we wait in line to go buy groceries, look for God. As we wait in line to get that bacon cheeseburger at Whataburger, look for God. As we wait for the next announcement from health officials and from governing officials, Look for God. As we spend time in quarantine and spend more time in our homes and more time with our family, look for God. As you have the opportunity to go perhaps for a walk or to look out and to observe the sunset, or perhaps you even maybe were privileged enough to get out on the lake, look for God. In all that, God calls us to wait and to anticipate fully that God is going to show up and that God is going to be God and that God will continue to work all things for our good because we love God, because we're called according to God's purpose, and because we're part of God's family. So wait. Again, not passively, but wait actively. Wait to see God show up. And then be ready to share that and tell people, this is where God showed up in my life today. And encourage others to wait. I love you. I miss you. I wish that we were here together again on Wednesday night. I wish we would be together on Sunday, but we are not going to be. We're going to wait. But we're going to wait in full hope and in full expectation that God is presently active in our world and that God is not far and distant waiting to see how this thing's going to turn out. God is going to work this out according to the divine purpose and according to the divine will. And we're invited to be a part of that as we wait. We will broadcast live at 9:30 on Sunday morning via our Facebook page. And then, as we've done in the last few weeks, we'll post that to YouTube later in the day. I love you and I miss you. Continue to pray for our people and for God to show up and for those who've been impacted by the virus in so many ways. It's not just those who are sick that have been impacted. It's those who've lost loved ones. It's those who can't get to loved ones. It's those who live in loneliness and isolation. They're all impacted. Pray for them. Reach out to them in ways that you can and encourage them, as Isaiah has encouraged all of us, to wait on the Lord, and God will raise us up, and God will give us strength, and God will bring us comfort. I love you. I will see you Sunday via the screen, I suppose, if I don't see you before.